I think it's indicative of the material, that this feels stronger, it feels richer.
This has allowed a freedom to unfold itself at its own pace and its own rhythm that makes it different and exciting and captivating.
It has that same richness and that same quality that the previous season had.
Obviously, the tone is similar in the sense of it's true detective, but it still serves the same purpose, which is story and character first.
The through line in True Detective is Nick Pizzolatto's voice, which is very present in season 2, obviously, just like it was in season 1.
Working with Nick and really those long talks we had before helped immensely, because it just leads to concrete decisions.
You know, thinking about Taylor's situational awareness, he would yell something like contact high.
Okay.
Or just second story.
Yeah.
I think the consistency is Nick's strong storytelling, both dialogue and structure.
I've never worked with someone who's so committed to the character first and the backstory. It's such a gift to be able to draw on that.
Nick wrote some amazing situations, amazing scenes, amazing kind of physical expressions of turmoil.
I used to want to be an astronaut. But astronauts don't even go to the moon anymore.
You have a bunch of characters that are in extreme circumstances with very interesting backstories, who all kind of have their different interests colliding for the things that they want in their life and also the problems that they're facing.
The investigation or the murder that took place, you know, that's front and center. That's kind of the harbinger of things to come, or it's kind of the playing field on which this story takes place.
Phil Coro, Vinci PD.
Alinka, Bezaritas, Ventura Sheriff CID.
Paul Woodrew, CHP.
Season 1 was fantastic and felt very real and connected to Louisiana. In the same way, I feel like this is very authentic and connected to Los Angeles.
It very much is set in a fringe part of this town. There, I think, is a broken down feel aesthetically to the locations we have shot in, which, you know, you could say in a way mirrors down the internal fractures of all the characters that are front and center in the piece.
Vinci's an unincorporated town. That's kind of an off-the-grid place where you got to know somebody, and Frank is definitely a player in that community.
This is such a rich place. It was one of the things I was really drawn to was this back door of Southern California that you just don't see.
These live locations, the grit, and just being out here, it helps immensely as an actor to react with that.
This is my least favorite life. The one where you fly and I don't.
That Black Rose is kind of magical, even as a set. It's such an interesting show that way. You think it's just a set and it's just these walls that have been built, but they take on this, I don't know, energy.
Well, the reasons for all this and all that might not exist for me anymore. You see, I got no reason to keep at this.
I've loved our scenes in the Black Rose. Every time I know I have a 2 or 3 page scene with Vince, I get terribly excited, because for me, there's nothing more enjoyable than a well-written scene and 2 people sitting across from each other.
Obviously, T-Bone Burnett composing and writing a lot of the music. There's just a beautiful sound that comes out of the artists that are playing there.
There's a certain tone and there's a certain loneliness in performing those lyrics and telling those stories, and simplicity of the music that accompanies what she's singing.
My love in a sweet memory.
We look at the music and, you know, obviously the writing and the dialogue, the cinematography, the design of the sets. It's very high quality. It's, you know, feels very authentic, and it also has a great aesthetic and sound to it as well.
This is way more emotional than I thought it was going to be. And that's the dream as an actor, to shed all these layers and to test those waters.
It's a very specific, thought-out world that has a lot of dedication put into it that makes up the sums of the parts.
It's just a very rich, dark, gritty, complicated world to try to find your way through.
There is some ethereal sensibility that there are greater forces at play than what you actually see taking place before you.